What's up, guys? Back with another movie review. This is another catalog title review, and it is of The Purge Anarchy. I watched it on 4K Ultra HD from Universal. My main issue with the original Purge movie was, despite the fact that I love the premise, I still contend it's one of the best premises, maybe in movies, let alone in horror thrillers. But my issue was all the cool stuff was happening out in the streets, and we were stuck inside the house with kind of this, kind of run-of-the-mill thriller story. In the Purge Anarchy, they do remedy that, and they put us out into the streets, right in the middle of the chaos, which is awesome. What ends up happening is there's a guy that's going out to purge. A guy killed his son on accident when he was driving drunk, and he ended up getting acquitted on a technicality, and the dad is just going to go settle the score, and he wants to get vengeance for his son. While he's out on the street, he ends up meeting up with 4 random strangers. It's actually 2 couples, but anyway, he ends up meeting up with them and helping them, and they end up traveling together, trying to make it to safe haven, and then he also wants to get them where they need to go, and then he wants to go wrap up his business as well. But they end up crossing paths with this weird covert government, death squad, and that kind of gets the government after them. And the movie's just kind of, can they survive? I loved being out on the streets, don't get me wrong. I loved that we were right in the middle of everything, but the movie sticks us with these bland characters. I didn't like any of them. I didn't think any of them were interesting. Another thing that hurt was that, the people who were chasing them, they tried to recreate the creepiness of the masks from the Freaks from the first movie, and it just doesn't work. They're not interesting looking. The things that they do aren't interesting. So we have our main hero characters are these dull, forgettable people, and then our villains are dull and forgettable as well, and it just kind of tanks the movie. I still think it's a decent watch, but there's just nothing to it. As soon as you watch it, you pretty much just forget everything about it. That's not to say that it's bad, though. I mean, it's got a fast pace, it's got some fun violence in it, but ultimately, I don't know. I just think this premise is going to be hard to pull something spectacular off in, because people don't want to embrace the evilness of it. They have to somehow shovel in this social commentary, and I just wanted to see crazy purge stuff. I didn't want to get involved with all the political social aspect of it, which I know why they did it, because it has to appeal to a wide audience. But it is what it is. It has some fun scenes in it. It does have some blood in it, but it's mostly CGI, which really sucks. No nakedness. The dialogue is pretty run-of-the-mill. No big quotable lines or memorable exchanges in it. And again, that kind of comes back to the fact of having forgettable characters. The performances are fine, but there's just not that much going on with these characters, so there's really not much to remember. I don't know why they want to just push this social stuff into this. The Purge should just be a wild movie about just craziness in the streets. You can put people out there that maybe don't want to be in the Purge and center on that, but they don't have to have these weird motivations. Just make a cool movie that's fun to watch. And unfortunately, as much as I wanted to like this, because I loved being out in the streets and the chaos of the Purge, I just didn't think it was that good of a movie. I actually think it turned out to be worse than the first movie, which was just stuck in a house, so I was pretty disappointed. But it was cool just to kind of get a little bit bigger picture of what was going on with the Purge, which was nice. Get a little bit more of the lore of the world. I just wish it was less serious and less political, less social, and was just about being a fun, over-the-top horror movie. I watched it on 4K Ultra HD. Again, like I said with the first Purge movie, this looks good, but to me it doesn't look like it's a significant improvement over the Blu-ray. I think if you showed it to people, they would think it was a Blu-ray. It's definitely not one of those crystal clear looking out of a window transfers. It looks good, but to me it just doesn't look that much better than the Blu-ray. But you get both the Blu-ray and the Ultra HD in this pack, so either way I think you're fine, and I think it gives you that little bit of future proofing anyway, even if it's not a huge improvement. As far as the movie, again, I can't super recommend it unless you're just a big fan of the Purge series, because I do think it's just kind of forgettable and run-of-the-mill. Certainly not bad. It's definitely watchable, but just not, anything special. If you like this review, check out my website, markfusion.com. I've got hundreds of other reviews there, including full write-ups of all the Purge movies, as well as other horror, cult, exploitation, new movies 7 days a week. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at markfusion. You can also check out my Patreon to get exclusive content there. But the best way to support me is definitely just to hit that sub button. It's free, it's easy, and it really helps me out. I would greatly appreciate greatly appreciate it if you did that for me. If you like the videos, no pressure, no pressure. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Either way, I do greatly appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you soon.